deer's like right here. See this tree right in front of us, this hackberry? It's right there. It was right there on that ledge. It's like feeding that way. It was browsing on the acorn. Check it. Look at her nose. Trying to pick up her scent.
Fun little adventure that first part in. That's a great great visual, or an example, so to say, of good access, and then being able to sneak up on deer because they don't have our wind. We came in with this northwest wind on this property, and we hugged the very south end of the property and got to what, 8-9 yards from that deer. Obviously we could have shot him or shot that doe, but there was a lot of deer in here, and I'm pretty pumped. We came all the way back into this bedding area, and honestly we kicked up quite a few deer, but this isn't a spot that I can hunt, so I'm not worried about boogering it up. But I wanted to get cameras all the way back in the thick of it. This is the best spot for this bedding, and earlier when we came in here I said these deer are going to be on the very west side of the property. Well, there's a point up here that it's a very, very, what would this be, the north point, and with this northwest wind they're just sitting on this top. It's an east facing ridge, and they're able to see out in this opens, and there was probably a good 24 deer up here. I saw some pretty good racks as well, so pretty eager to see what this one shows. We just got it over a natural vine. It looks like all the bark's gone. They're probably rubbing it, so it'll be fun what this camera shows. But we're gonna go shoot with Casey real quick, make sure the bows are sighted in. She's pretty geared up, ready to go tonight. And Shane and I are gonna make a game plan for where we're going to sit. But gonna scout this on the way out, and hopefully figure some more stuff out. We'll always figure stuff out.
Money.
All right, we just got done shooting bows. It's very windy tonight, so we elected to just go sit with Casey. I hung a stand for her yesterday, and she's not very comfortable with heights, so this stand isn't very high off the ground. We shouldn't have to deal with as much swaying in the tree. And man, I was hoping to shoot a shot on a pretty darn good buck tonight. But it would have been a perfect recipe for success. I mean, with these windy days, it seems like if you can find a ridge that is, say it's a west wind, a really strong northwest wind, we want to find a southeast facing ridge, maybe with some acorns early, and those deer are probably going to be bedded up on there, and they're probably going to work that ridge pretty good until the wind calms down. But tonight we're overlooking fresh picked corn. And there's a little standing corn as well. There's 2 really good bucks that have been coming out. And Casey's been practicing quite a bit this summer. She's put a lot of time in. And I'm really eager to hopefully see if she can get herself a buck this year. She shot a buck with a gun before, but she's never shot a buck with a bow. So it's a pretty big goal of hers, and hopefully we can help her out tonight. Maybe she'll shoot one. So I'm going to meet up with her here really soon. Big front coming in, big temp drop. Truck's saying 53 degrees right now.
Sounds like a recipe.
That sounds like a recipe. We're just cooking them up. The weatherman is, you know. So I don't know. We'll see what she says. We are set up. It's a blizzard out here as far as the wind goes. It's probably ripping 20 mile an hour right now, and just got 2 new stands set. Casey's set. We are about 5 feet up, and we're just sitting over these shrubs right in front of us. You know, it's a funny setup, but you know, this is probably gonna work. if they dare choose to come out. But we've got a fence gap that we're overlooking, and I've got a camera set over it. We've had a lot of deer starting to filter out of it ever since the corn got picked. And every year that it's corn on here, there's normally quite a few bucks that are on it. So we're hoping for a 20, 30 yard shot opportunity. That's what Casey's comfortable with. And hopefully this cold front that came through with 50 degrees for a high, hopefully that's a perfect recipe for a big buck. So I need to trademark that, but if they come out, it's gonna be close quarters. One thing about this spot that I really like with this setup is that we have a southeast facing hillside. So with this northwest wind, it's gonna be a lot more calm on these lower sides of these hills. So these deer are gonna wanna enter this destination food source in these low spots so it's out of the wind, and they're more comfortable, they can hear better. So, I don't know, I'm eager. I think we'll have deer on both sides of the draw. All right, we just wrapped up the hunt. Really slow, man. Another night where we got busted and skunked. But one positive to running cameras that a lot of guys don't think about, it's really nice to see what that intel is right away when you get out of the stand with those conditions that you were just hunting, and see what cameras, what locations have better activity. And, you know, I really thought with that southeast facing hill that these deer were going to come out early just because it was blocking the wind. Well, that just wasn't the case. That wind was just ripping too hard, and the cameras that I had that just had continuous buck movement on them tonight, they were in big ravines, they were down in bottoms, and there was absolutely no wind down there. So super interesting to see that. I'll note that, so next time we have high winds like this, I'll go try those spots. But if you guys have been following along with the lucky stories so far this year, we got some good intel so far tonight. The farm that we've been hunting this week had an absolute giant show back up. Or I shouldn't say show back up, but we had a giant show back. I just said it again. We had a giant show up. And he's huge. And I don't know what to do. We're gonna have to keep everything really tight. He's coming out of very, very, very small stuff. That is probably the most overlooked stuff I've ever looked at. And I just could not be any more pumped or excited. Shay and I are just stoked. So we're heading down to film Lee this weekend. We're getting after Chuck Norris. And then hopefully Monday afternoon we'll be headed back home. And hopefully we can get after one of these 3 bucks. So thanks for watching, guys. Appreciate it. Stay safe out there.